All right, so for these two problems, we're looking to find the inverse of the function. So this is similar to what we did in section 5.1. In 5.1, though, we obviously used algebraic techniques like adding, subtracting, square rooting, things like that to get to isolate the y. Here we'll just do a little bit of work with logs and exponentials. You'll notice both of these are exponential equations, right? Because the variable appears in the exponent. So its inverse should involve a log. Okay. But again, while we always do the inverse, start with this first one. We're going to write it as a y equal to equation. Okay. And then just like as before, we switch x and y. So the y becomes an x, the x becomes a y. Okay. And now it's just, this is the equation of the inverse function. We like it in function form, which means y equal to form. Okay. So we have to isolate that y. So we'll add the 5. And now here we have to kind of think, okay, what are we going to do to get that y out of the exponent? The only way to do that is to introduce a log. So this is an exponential equation with base 1/2. So if I want to rewrite it, it would be log base 1/2 of the x plus 5. Remember, we'll switch those, equals y. So our f inverse of x is log base 1/2 of x plus 5. Okay. Just so you know, we could also ln each side. So just as an alternate, when we're at this point, and we know we need to introduce a log to get that y out of the exponent. If you want to use natural log on each side, that's fine. Because then we have this property, right, that the y can come down. And now it's just y times ln of a half. So divide, and we're done. Okay. And so if you write it in this form, it would look like f inverse of x equals ln of x plus 5 over ln of a half. You should see that these two expressions, right, are equivalent. That's just our change of base formula. All right, similarly here, so we write it as y equals, negative e to the x plus 6. Nothing's happened, I just changed f of x to y. Now I write the inverse, so y becomes x, and x becomes y. Okay. Solve for y, so subtract that 6. Get rid of the negative, we can do that. So when you multiply both sides by negative, this will become 6 minus x. Okay. Now again, at this point, all the algebraic techniques we would have of multiplying, rooting, things like that, are not going to work. We have to introduce a log to get rid of that exponential. Okay. What's nice is this is base e, so it's rewriting it would be log base e or ln. So I'm going to write it both ways here. So log base e, right, of the 6 minus x equals y. Okay, we don't normally use this notation. We use the ln notation for log base e. And so f inverse of x is ln of 6 minus x.